YouTube, what is up? Thank you guys for clicking on the video. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how to maintain strength on a cut. And let me tell you this right now, it's not very easy to do. I've tried it a couple times. My last cut I definitely tried for a very long time. My last weight loss, my last cut, I started in late December and ended in early July. That is how long I actually did a cut, and it was miserable. I don't suggest doing it for that long because eventually, I mean, it's just not good. It's not good for your body. It's not good for your mind. But anyways, but the reason why I did it so long was because I was trying to maintain strength. And that's one of the first things I'm going to talk about is if you want to maintain strength on a cut, you have to do it slow. You have to do it slow, and you have to pay attention to what you're doing in your training, especially. When you're eating plenty of calories and, you know, not necessarily trying to gain weight, not necessarily trying to lose weight, what you do in your training doesn't matter as much. I mean, obviously it matters, like, what you're doing, if, like, whatever your goal is. So if your goal is to get stronger, you'd obviously have to lift heavy at a consistent basis and give your body enough time and, like, rest in between that so you can just consistently and progressively get stronger instead of, you know, lifting heavy all the time, and that actually hurts you more. So that kind of gets me into my first thing. You have to pay attention to what you're doing in training. So if you're trying to maintain strength and while you're cutting, you have to lift heavy. You have to keep lifting heavy. Obviously, that's an obvious thing. And the reason why you have to keep lifting heavy is because, I mean, you're training for strength. So if you're not training for strength, you're not going to maintain your strength. So that's kind of just the obvious thing with that. But so what I did, and it worked for a very long time. Until I got into like probably May, I got impatient and I started losing weight really fast. But until May, I was keeping my strength pretty good, and I lost about 15-20 pounds from like December to May. So, but that worked good, and then I eventually got impatient and I just like threw it all out the window because, I mean, realistically, you're gonna lose some strength, and I just eventually accepted that. I was like, if I really want to look this certain way, then I'm just gonna have to accept that I'm gonna lose some strength. And that's kind of where it comes down to. Are you, like, people like me who care about, you know, like lifting heavy, even if you're not competing, like that's just kind of my thing. I like to, I don't know, I think it's fun, like, just to see how much you can do. And that was kind of my thing. It was a really hard decision to be from like, hey, if you really want to get down to a certain weight and look a certain way, you're gonna have to get over you're gonna lose strength. So because, I mean, realistically, you're not gonna have the best of both worlds. I mean, when you're losing weight, you're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I could lift this much still, or lift this much as this guy. And then when you're gaining weight, then you're gonna be like, oh man, I wish I looked like him, he's cut. Like, it's just, sometimes, yeah, you just gotta be happy with where you're at when you're at your cut, no matter how much strength you've lost, because then you can always go back and get that strong again. And you can always do a lean bulk, like slowly gain weight and get that strength back and look pretty similar to what you look like when you were cut. Anyways, kind of rambling on. So do it slow and train consistently heavy. That doesn't mean every single week at all. I'm not saying it doesn't mean you lift heavy every single week, because then you're actually doing a double whammy of, you're not going to maintain strength at all. Not only are you losing weight, it's harder for your body to maintain muscle and maintain strength. You're also overtraining your nervous system, and you're just going to lose strength that way too. So don't overtrain heavy all the time. Just because you're cutting doesn't mean you have to train heavy every single day. Just find a happy medium in between both. During your cut, sometimes what I did, and it worked really well, I would do 1 week I'm focusing on losing weight. The next week I would eat at my maintenance. So like I wouldn't be really worried about losing weight, but that week I'd be worried about keeping my strength. And then the next week I'd lose weight again, and my training would be kind of like, you know, volume kind of based. to give my body a break from going heavy last week, and then the next week again I go right back to it, maintenance calories and lifting heavy. So that's kind of how I did it. It worked extremely well. So if you're going to try to do this, if you're going to try to maintain strength while cutting, I suggest doing that, trying that out for a while. But then again, everyone's different. This is just advice. This is not like, hey, this is going to work for you. I'm not telling you this is going to work for you, guaranteed. So everyone's different. Some people can lift heavy all the time and then get some results from it. Not very often does that happen though. And then some people, like me, I can lift heavy one week and then the next week if I lift heavy again the next week, I'm going to be going down. So yeah, that's kind of the thing with that. It's pretty simple. I'm going to try to keep this video short. I kind of rambled on a little too much already. So yeah, 2 things when you're trying to maintain strength on a cut is do it slow. Maybe try alternating, like I just said, like alternating 1 week or doing a calorie deficit 1 week or doing that maintenance. While you're at that maintenance week, lift heavy. And then while you're on your cut week, do volume, give your CNS a break, your central nervous system. And number 2 is, yeah, you have to consistently lift heavy, man. All right, that's about it. That's all I really got to say. Thank you guys for watching and clicking on the video. I really appreciate it if you like, comment, and share. Comment something that if you've done this before, comment below and maybe help some people out on what you did and what worked for you. So, all right, thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys in the next video.